Hey, there we go. What's going on, guys? So today I actually just want to make a quick video about something a little different. So I want to talk to you about some of, in my opinion, or some of my favorite men's self-improvement creators, right? And I guess there's different levels to this, right? So, they've helped me out in different ways over the years. And some guys I don't watch as much as I used to, right? But they all have like pretty great content and will help you sort of along the way. So if I think back to it, one of the very first guys that helped me sort of think about self-improvement more, it was a mix between Matt Diavella and Alpha M, or Aaron Marino. And the reason I liked Matt Diavella starting out was he did a lot of 30-day challenges, like habit building challenges. So like I tried cold showers for 30 days. I did powerlifting for 30 days. I walked 10,000 steps 30 days. I didn't use social media or my smartphone for 30 days. Like you did all these different habits that, it's like dopamine detoxes and things that are like healthy for us as guys, and like to help like start implementing a better lifestyle. So I really liked his approach there. Also very good, like high quality videos. And then in terms of Alpha M, like at the time I knew nothing about style in terms of like men's beards, hair, clothes. And the thing I'll say about style is, you take inspiration from different people, right? So it's kind of like when a musician creates a song, they don't just they're not just from one other musician that inspired them. They grew up and listened to a bunch of different artists, and so now they're sort of like a combination of the music that inspired them. So that's a similar thing with style, right? You take what you like, what works, improve it over time, and you have your own style. And I got a lot of ideas about style from Alpha M, Jose Zuniga. His YouTube was teaching men's fashion. And then Alex Costa. Alex Costa had a lot of good stuff on fashion and like different hairstyles. So super helpful there. And then eventually I started getting a little bit more into like, I guess you could say like fitness, and then like I guess like psychology behind self-improvement, and then dating and things like that. And so I started to discover guys like How to Beast, or David De Las Morenas. Really, really insanely good YouTube channel. I mean, he talks a lot about all of the things, right? Like fitness, style, dating, having the right kind of guys or like brothers around you to help you level up. And if you go back on his YouTube channel, you can watch him kind of go through his journey of self-development. Like the first video is like being like, he didn't really know what he was doing, kind of like awkward in front of the camera, not the best style, to leveling up, and you can see the progression over time. And now, I mean, he's crushing it. Like he's got like 5 different businesses, or 4 now, I think. But really good stuff. And each video kind of talks on like different things he's going through, or different life lessons that he might have to share. So that one was super helpful. And then in terms of some other favorites, Hamza has a lot of really good content on self-improvement around like your mindset to get to where you want to be. And Hamza is just like, it's kind of funny, right? Like, guy in a bathrobe, they're giving you life advice, and again, he covers all these bases on like fitness and dating and building a business, and he's built a really great community himself, right? So like a lot of guys are learning from him now, and it's obvious why, right? Like he's provided a lot of value on the internet. Some other guys that might be pretty helpful for you, Chris Williamson. I haven't watched too much of his stuff, to be honest, but he always seems to have really amazing podcast guests on, like experts in their field, and he's always asking like really good questions to them. right? I'm sure he's developed his podcast abilities over time, right? Like, sometimes you say your ums and ahs and and I know he's been evolving and asking better questions as he goes, but he always has like really insightful guests, and it's geared towards. I think it's called Modern Wisdom. Is his show or podcast, and it's geared towards self-development, growth, particularly for men. Some other guys that are good for that are Mike Thurston and Lewis Howes is also similar to that. I won't go too deep into those because I sort of they're similar, and they have really good guests that'll provide insights on different areas. So, not to ramble on about that, but another guy that I wanted to mention, super underrated YouTuber, by the way. I mean, you might not think so because his original channel, this guy Jack Denmo, one of his original channels. I know it's not the first one he made. You can find it, Jack Denmo. It still exists. It's got like over 1 million subscribers or more. Like, yeah, I think YouTube like shadow banned it or something like that. He did a bunch of like pranks and like drunk interviews, and then eventually he started doing a little less pranks and more like approaching girls, right? So like trying out different ways of being funny and approaching girls, and kind of just you could see him evolve into like being himself, more experimenting with that. And it shows that you don't have to worry so much, like have this anxiety around like meeting and approaching women, and you can have more fun with it, like more play with your day, right? Because it's just like random girls that he's approaching, trying different stuff, seeing what works, what doesn't. But he usually adapts pretty well in the situations. And actually, he's had like several YouTube channels get like shadow banned or like hard to get more views, right? So he's got a new channel called Denmo, Denmo, and he does a lot of the talking head videos, like Hamza and How to Beast does a bit of those now too, and all super helpful again, right? He talks about his journey and developing a YouTube channel, advice for young guys developing a business or their fitness, sort of like optimizing their life, similar stuff, right? So like all these guys are super helpful, and I could go on like a tangent for a long time about like different YouTubers or podcasters that will be helpful for you. I think the last one that I'll leave you off with today is a guy I found a few years ago when I was getting more into dating and then wanting to have time freedom with work, right? So like either build my own business or work remotely. And it's this guy called Legion of Men on YouTube. He's got a lot of good content around self-development as a man, masculinity, and he talks pretty straightforward about like, let's say, challenges that masculinity is going up against, especially in the West right now. And he provides a lot of insightful content around basically everything involved in being a man, right? Like whether it's dating, whether it's like the food you're eating, like the things that you're consuming or listening to, dating challenges. Like, I might have said that already, but just tons of really good stuff on there, and it kind of opens your eyes to different possibilities. He shows different videos of guys who have moved to different locations throughout the world, right? Because, like, for example, the U.S. cost of living is really high, so like the kinds of work that they're doing to be able to work remotely and live that kind of lifestyle, or like the countries that they're living in, like cost of living, cost of eating, all these different things. So check him out as well, Legion of Men. Again, I could go on a tangent for all this stuff, but this is a good place for you to start, definitely. It took me a while to find some of these guys, so I hope that they're helpful for you, and just keep going. You got this, man.